Greetings and welcome to my usual weekly Sunday evening live stream where we take about an hour long indulgence into the world of fabricated media, fabricated entertainment. How are they faking it this week? That's what the purpose of pretty much every stream generally is, in one form or another. And yeah, tonight there's a couple of things. I'm always open to people leaving comments in the live chat and suggesting things they want us to look at. Hi to David, who's taken the time to say hello, and suggesting monkeypox. I'm not sure if that is a taboo word yet, which will instantly get my channel, get my video taken down. But from what I've seen, the pictures are nothing more. The pictures are nothing more than chickenpox and shingles, I believe. But no doubt some fact checker online has proved that wrong. So, are we allowed to be alternative fact checkers? Basically, if you disagree with Wikipedia, you're wrong. That is as far as the world's concerned. Wikipedia don't get things wrong. It is just like the Britannic, all the previous encyclopedias they used to sell people. Was it door to door? A lot of people sold them. They were the official line. You don't. If you want to prove something, you want to prove, the genuineness of an item. Look it up in a encyclopedia, and that is the official narrative. That is the thing that you cannot question. Hello to Maria Ellender. Thanks for joining us in the live chat. It's always great to see you in there. So we're going to kind of go slightly against the Wikipedia is always right, and suggest an alternative a possibility for what we're seeing. One of the main things, let me just bring up tonight's image. Actually, before we do that, I would, as always, like to thank my Patreon, Linda Mack, for taking the time to support me over there. If anyone else wants to do likewise, you can pledge a minimal amount of your choice, like 70p I think is the minimum. It's a monthly pledge and it just helps me show your support. Right, let me bring up my image for this evening. Where is it? It is Fake Spotting and More on the 12th of June 2022, coming very close to the longest day, Midsummer's Day. KG, greetings, thanks for joining us, good to see you in the chat. The time when the sun is nearest us, I believe it's over the Tropic of Cancer. It's either Cancer or Capricorn. I suppose I could at the very least look that one up. Takes me, YouTube is telling me there's an error and it's telling me I've got 0 views as well, so maybe I'll try refreshing that. I hope this doesn't interrupt things too much. Let me check actually on YouTube. Okay, it's working. The audio's working, but the lines have stopped. Let's see. Maybe I'll shut them off if they are too much. Perhaps they cause the streams to lag a bit. I mean, I believe it is like a 1080p image, yeah. Obviously referencing last week's highly interrupted stream and lots of delays. Hopefully we're not going to have that issue this week. I do appreciate any feedback. I'm guessing if you have problems, if you have buffering, you'll tell me. If you're not saying anything, and I'm guessing it's listenable, and it certainly seems to be on my end. Right, we are going to look at a couple of stories. If you were watching in the pre-stream, I guess you could call it, it was from June, basically. It was Freedom Day. We were all approaching the day here in the UK where we weren't going to be expected to muzzle up anymore. It was June last year, basically, a year ago. David says, Justin Bieber, real or fake story? Do you know what? I'm not familiar with Justin Bieber's latest story, So let's have a look at that. That's how we'll kick things off. Thanks for the suggestion, David. As I said, I do have a couple of stories to look at. One, I'm calling Johnny on the Spot. Also, I was talking in the live chat last night on my other channel to Susan Byrne, who was saying about the Mandela effect. So I thought perhaps that is something we can have a look at. Oh, one final thing actually before we move over. If you would like to support this channel and you're in a position to hit the like button, I believe that does widen the audience to whom might get a chance to see this. Hit the share button on social media and subscribe. They are the 3 great ways you can support this channel other than supporting me on Patreon. Or just watching and tuning in and taking part in the live chat, which Phil Wright, Maria Ellender and David and KG are all currently doing at the minute. Much appreciated. Maria also says an interesting YouTuber called Somnidilius Solertius looks at fakes and clones in Hollywood. Okay. Great. Yeah, a couple of things we'll certainly be looking at. Oh. Hang on. I've got my... oh, come on. Right, Justin Bieber was the first thing we were going to look at. Yeah, Johnny on the Spot is the name of one of tonight's segments. See if anyone can guess what that's a reference to. Johnny on the Spot. Let me just zoom in my screen a minute as we go on to the news section. Oh, also I was going to check. Yeah, the longest day, which is on the 21st, that would be just over a week away, sorry, is when the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer. Bieber suffering from new facial paralysis. What is Ramsay Hunt syndrome? Yeah, if it's happening to Justin Bieber, then in my opinion, at least 4 or 5 different actors have to take on whatever's going on. So if Justin Bieber gets a new tattoo, it means 4 or 5 people have to likewise get a tattoo because they're either lookalikes or they're stand-ins, or because believe me, people, whether it's men or women doing it, and I'm guessing it's probably women actually in the majority of the case, just to really confuse you a bit. Right. Again, this touches onto another subject. Right, can I bring this over a little bit? What's going on with Justin? Oh, that isn't good. They still want to squeeze their ads in. Perhaps I'll go on to reading mode, see if that helps. Listen to the article. No, we won't do that. We can read. We are going to get Justin's pink hat just to really, just to make sure you are well aware that this small-mouthed, slim-jawed individual is not quite what they say. So, when you sing in a concert, you kind of need the ability to move your face. Oops. Oh, they're not telling us that he's singing with paralysis. Surely not. How many times do they want to use that horrible picture? Unless you happen to be part of a ventriloquist act. Very true. Oh, is that a little hint? Ventriloquist acts? Is this a wooden doll? Are they just animating some fabricated item? That's why an onset of partial facial paralysis have prompted Grammy Award winner Justin Bieber to postpone 3 shows on his current world tour. He revealed on Instagram that he's suffering from Ramsay Hunt syndrome. The following tweet from Rap TV included a clip of Bieber's... Should we see him with... Does this take us to Instagram? Yeah. Should we see Justin with a paralysed face? Yeah, I'm pretty confident that at least more than one person has ever been presented to us as Justin Bieber. So no, has this guy really got a paralysis? Maybe one of the actors might have. Come on, is anything opening? Oh, we're having to put up with that orange spinning wheel. Let me just check the audio and the sound and that you can... See all right? Oh, my videos. Right, I don't want to forget the live chat too much. Maria, I will have a look at the YouTuber who looks at Hollywood and the royal family. Thanks for suggesting. If you've got a link to their channel, that would always be good. Phil Wright says Justine Bieber plays the role of the weekend. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one. That is a very interesting one. Right, what's actually going on here? Opening new tab. Maria, I think Justin was promoting it. Okay. His wife Hayley had blood clot and a stroke. No kidding. What a surprise. Yeah, they, as much as they want us to be afraid of not subscribing to their treatment plan, it would seem that they want the rest of us to be afraid of those that haven't subscribed to it. On the one hand, they're coming out and saying you should be afraid. People are having all these sorts of problems. Come on, why is this taking so long to load? My apologies. Important, please watch. I love you guys. Keep me in your prayers. I'm going to comment on this because I am signed in on my Bobby Zines Instagram account. We'll share a thought with Justin Bieber. When I did that on Instagram with the person, what's his name? Jake something. Oh, I can't even think of his name now. Quickenden, that's it. When I left a comment on his video on Instagram, he basically shared my videos to his followers, telling everyone how crazy I was, which was a bit odd. So let's see if we get the same outcome with Justin. I do want to check that everything's streaming. See, the problem with me not having those green lines in the background means that I can... Oh, hang on. Means I can monitor it. So let me just try and sort this out a moment, okay? Yeah, things are starting to slow down to a crawl at the moment. Right, sorry people, I'm just going to see if I can refresh the cache on this or whatever it is. And wake it up a bit. Okay, it seems to be working alright. Hope it's working okay your end. Let me just see how... Yeah, having the lines on means I can monitor it and I know that the video hasn't paused, for example. Gosh, the stream is a long way back. I'm going to see how it's looking on YouTube a minute. Yeah, I just don't want to start doing... looking at this stuff and then you guys not even seeing it because the video's paused, for example. How's it looking? It's a bit stuttery, so hopefully it's watchable your end. Right. We're going back on Instagram. Oh, hang on, Justin. I do hope you guys can see this okay. Oh, am I going to be able to hear it? That's the other thing. Hang on 1 second. Just have to also alter my audio settings. Sound. Okay, this way I should hear this as well.
Hey everyone, Justin here. I wanted to update
Is this him with facial paralysis? Sorry, Justin, not buying it.
you guys on what's been going on.
No, he's almost laughing. That face isn't paralysed.
Obviously, as you can probably see from my face.
They can mix his eyes around very well though. Easily done with CGI, of course. Does that desire a close-up? Easily done with CGI. What we're seeing here. Take it away, Justin.
I have this syndrome called
Right. Could they be stitched on? You will notice, I notice, I hope you do, and I hope the image is clear enough. Apologies if it isn't. You will see there is a very distinct blurriness just past here. That is where I will... Yeah, it all looks very blocky and stuck on. Who knows? And if you don't think that they can overlay eyes onto a person and make it look absolutely real, then you need to have a look at just how good video editing software can be.
Ramsay Hunt syndrome, and it is from this virus that attacks the nerve in my ear and my facial.
He's pointing to the wrong side, surely. Isn't it this? Isn't it his, as we look at him, it would be his right side? Or is it his left? I don't even know. They flip these images, obviously. But surely it's this side here. As we look at it on his right side, which seems to be lagging. Anyway.
Nerves, and has caused my face to have paralysis. As you can see, this eye is not
Okay,
blinking.
he switched sides now.
I can't smile on this side of my face.
No, that is bull spit. We had him smiling perfectly well earlier, and look how fake those teeth are. That is not your real teeth. No one walks around with teeth like that. Okay.
This nostril will not move. So there's full paralysis in this side of my face.
No, he hasn't. You just saw the side of his mouth twitch. If you've got paralysis, one side or the other, that is the sort of thing that it loses. Twitchingness. But his face is twitching fine on both sides.
I can't smile on this
No,
side
that's
of my
rubbish.
face. This nostril will not move. So there's full paralysis in this side of my face. So for those who are frustrated by my cancellations of the next shows, I'm just physically, obviously not capable of doing them. This is pretty serious, as you can see. I wish this wasn't the case.
No, I don't buy that. That's it. I'm not watching any more Justin. Nice CGI. That's all I'm going to write. Nice CGI there. Because it is, looks good, looks very convincing. It's not obviously that it's fake, but trust me, all of these celebrities are your CGIs. So yes, 100% not buying that one. Basically just promotes his Instagram account, of course. The fact that every article, where was it? Every article linked to his Instagram account, so, and I wouldn't, this bit where they say about a ventriloquist, I think is probably dropping a little hint about this. Okay,
But obviously my
still
body's
on there.
telling me I gotta
I haven't got rid of him yet. Someone else suggested looking up, I know you guys want me to look at the pox, but I'm not actually sure what they're saying about it, so we could have a quick look. Actually, we'll look at his wife Hailey, as KG pointed out that she had a clot, apparently. Hailey, is she Bieber as well? Okay. A month after wife discovers brain clot. Blood clot on brain, sorry. Nasty. Yeah, horrible stories, aren't they? As you can see, the eye is not blinking, I can't smile, the nostril will not move, there's full paralysis on this side of my face. See, for many, this would be a great opportunity to say, look, just shows how dangerous this, that and the other is. Not me, I'm not going to say that. The singer tried to smile, blink and move his face for his 240 million Instagram followers. No, he didn't. However, his face remained still on one side. It really didn't, actually. So for those who are frustrated... Okay, so it's just his excuse. See, basically just promoting this guy's Instagram account. Back in March, I wonder if that was the 3rd of March by any chance, his wife Hayley took to Instagram to reveal that one morning while she had been having breakfast, her husband Justin, she began to experience stroke-like symptoms and was taken to hospital. The model told her fans, I started having stroke-like symptoms. Yeah, they just repeated themselves there. Hope you can read this, by the way. I'll try and zoom in a little bit. They found I'd suffered a very small blood clot to my brain, which caused a small lack of oxygen, but my body had passed it on its own, and I recovered completely within a few hours. Okay. Although this was definitely one of the scariest moments I've ever been through, I'm home now and I'm doing well, and I'm so grateful, and thanks to all the amazing doctors. Yeah, never miss an opportunity to thank these people, the doctors. I want to know what date she got that, actually. So, maybe we will look at Hailey Bieber on Instagram. And we'll leave a comment on their post as well. Doesn't she look, or I say she in the loosest possible terms, I mean, look at that jaw, come on. Get real. Right, where is she on Insta then? Excuse me, crunching up a sweet. It does keep my mouth can get a bit dry. Yeah, look at that. Typical, they've got a man in a wig. Who is that supposed to be? I mean, that's blatant. My beautiful grandma, that's this person's grandmother. They've got a hint of an Adam's apple, you will notice. Completed her journey here on Earth. Yeah, I want to see the one where she reports, because of course you always report that sort of thing on Instagram, don't you? What was it, back in March? Who knows? Are we going to see her in a hospital bed? Actually, some of these images are too vile to even look at, so I'm not going to inflict this sort of vile male temple prostitution onto you. What's the date of this one, and do they mention it? March the 1st. So it wouldn't have been far away. I don't know, because of course Justin came out and told everyone about his problems. Thank you, beautiful planet, of course. Alright, I'm not watching it, but yeah, okay. I can't actually find a sad post. Okay, Maria Ellender says Angel Price on YouTube does some good transvestigations. Yeah, of course, the best would be, without, well, I don't know about the best, there's lots of really good ones out there, but one of the largest out there who, would be Mr. E. He is over on BitChute. Let's see, where's my link to Mr. E? I'm sure it should be on here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, he's called. And we'll just share a link to Mr. E, and then we'll also have a look at the couple of YouTubers you mentioned before we move on to the main subject for tonight's stream. Mr. E on BitChute. Right, of course, yeah, thanks for suggesting, people, but if you're in a position to share a link to their channel, that also makes life great. Right. Phil writes, so shingles is another reaction to the stab. Maybe. Perhaps it is. Right. Okay. Hailey Bieber. Right, what was the names of the first couple of people? Right, but sorry, I'm just gonna bring my chat in and Somnadilius Solitaris. Wow. Thanks for sharing, Maria. I'll have a quick look at their channel. I'm not actually going to be playing anyone else's content. Well, no, I'm not going to be playing anyone else's content tonight. I could maybe at the end, but let's have a look. Yeah, again, thanks for the suggestions on these channels to check out. Okay, we'll put a link. Well, I'll put a link in the live chat then. Oh, Princess Anne. UK fake President Joe Biden exposed as Prince Edward. Wow. Very interesting. Yeah, does look actually pretty interesting. I will put a link to his channel, and then maybe we'll watch it at the end. I will of course put a link in the description to this video, to this person's channel. Somni Delu. I'm guessing he's not English. Right, fake identities of European royals can invade. Yeah, good suggestion. Thank you for sharing this one. Who shared it? Maria? Yeah, Maria Ellender, thank you. Okay, well, yeah, we'll certainly... Look, just looking at these pictures, you can easily see here where those eyes have just been shopped onto the front of Biden's face. I mean, it's so clear, in my opinion. Yeah, I personally think people like Joe Biden, members of Prince Edward, for example, I think there are multiple different people that play the role. Perhaps they can also play the same as, you can get two people and... I'm trying to screenshot of Joe Biden. Hang on a minute. Okay. The other one was... What was the other person? KG says the Biebers switch-up couple. Yeah, we'll have a look at the weekend as well. Yeah, of course. We were going to have a... All I do know, I heard that Bieber and the other guy had a fallout. Bieber and the Weeknd had a of course, like a rap war where it's all publicity is good publicity, especially if you've got someone like Justin Bieber telling everyone that you're a rubbish musician or whatever. Still great publicity. Yeah, there is a pretty clear distinction between the colouring. Oh, hang on. yeah, the colouring in this area compared to, oh, yeah, it's almost as if those eyes are pointed in two different directions, but hey, who knows? Okay. Maria says, just found Mr. E again on BitChute, watching him earlier. Yep. I have shared a link to him. And also, I'm pretty sure I showed a link to, if I didn't, and I certainly meant to, I'll do that now. Actually, I'll share a link to the channel. I thought I already had, personally. Where's my live chat? Here it is. No, I haven't. Copy link. Okay, I'm not going to try and spell his name, but how is it spelled? Okay, we can at least spell it. I'm going to abbreviate it. Somna Solatius. Right, and who is the other person you mentioned? Angel Price. Again, not a channel I'm necessarily that familiar with. Exposition of trans history's best kept secrets. People including non-binary. Is this them? Hang on. The Judds were an American country music duo composed of lead vocalist Winona Judd and her mother. The duo. Is this the correct? Yeah, transvestigation. I'm guessing it probably is then. Hang on, let's just hear what they're saying. Brilliant. Again, I'll share a link to this channel as well. And yeah, both these will also be in the descriptions of the video. Right. Angel Price. Let's see. And Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner, known as Sting, is an English musician, singer, songwriter, and actor. He was the frontman, songwriter, and bassist for a new rock band for The Police. Okay. Yeah, check out the channels, definitely. And it does kind of tie in. Bear this in mind, okay? Is it possible people like Sting? Who else is Angel Price looking at? The Judds. I mean, I don't actually really know who these people are. Winona Ryder, yep, good call. Kate Middleton, very good call. Meghan Markle, yeah, excellent. Can't argue with any of them. So, yeah. Now, this kind of ties in with a story I saw over on the Metro, my favourite soap. You guys know I love Coronation Street, don't you? I hope. Do you know what? I'm beginning to despise it, though. Part of the vileness of... I mean, the stories are entertaining, but they're actually ridiculously influential as well. What they make people believe is normal. They're really powerful, actually. If whether or not this story is remotely true, I don't know. It's by a person called Macy Spackman. Okay. I don't know if they're talking personal experience or if they're referencing someone else, but apparently there is an article. A Corrie episode prompted me to come out as gay to my family after 3 years. I'm not sure if this is Macy Spackman giving their account or what, but Anyway, the couple about the schoolgirl and the gothic prompted this person to come out as gay. This was a lifestyle they want to be part of. But yeah, if you read it though, the very first thing they say, I'm not sure if this is a genuine account of someone or if they're just feeding us propaganda. But anyway, growing up, I had never been one for romance. Boys were just bizarre creatures. This is from Macy Spackman, by the way. That enjoyed winding me up, and love stories in movies and books were just irritating. As all my friends started talking about boring things like the boys they fancied, just want to they fancied and the male celebrities they wanted to marry, I grew more and more disinterested in their conversations. Despite the seemingly obvious hints, it wasn't until I was 17 that I finally realised why I felt the need to Google every actress that graced my television screen and watch every project they'd ever been involved in. So this person was really into females on television. See? Don't talk about real life, they just say television screen. You guessed it, I'm a lesbian. Are you absolutely sure about this? Could it be that some of these actresses that you've been lusting over, Winona Ryder for example, this person here with the square jaw, what if they're not actually women? I mean, would you have sold out your, I don't know, yeah, pretty strict, clear instructions from our creator that women don't lie with other women, men don't lie with other men, okay? Far be it from me to judge anyone that does choose to do, whatever lifestyle they want to choose, but just based on the teachings in the Holy Scriptures, lesbianism isn't the recommended life choice, okay? It will basically lead to destruction. Pride comes before destruction. And at the moment, almost like people are mocking God himself, almost daring him to come and destroy them. Imagine if you were really into Tory spelling, you were a woman, or Dolly Parton, my goodness. What an image. Imagine if you had convinced yourself that because you liked Alexis Arquette, you must be lesbian. How confusing would that be? Eminem, yes, an interesting one. Yeah, these look like they've done some very thorough investigation, so well done to them. Anyway, going back to this story, Coronation Street. Whilst my sexuality growing up had been somewhat elusive, well, that's surely not a bad thing. One thing that remained staggeringly clear to everyone in my life was my love and appreciation of the top tier art form, the British soap opera. Rainbows. That's a sign from God, unfortunately, that they will no longer destroy the world with a flood. So these guys are saying, be as perverse as you want, rub it in his face, stick his own symbol on our hands whilst we perform acts which has caused him to act in the past. We'll corrupt the flesh, really corrupt that flesh, and then mock him at the same time. And that is four rainbow families share their stories of LGBTQ plus. Oh, I saw. Apparently they extended that to about 3 more letters. I always read it in like the most boring. Oh, here we go. Got to read out this ridiculous list of letters now. LGBTQXIP. What's the P for? Don't go there, perverted. Right. A. A should be in there. LGBTQA. The plus is for A, abominations, and that is not my words, okay? But I don't. Yeah. From Who Killed Archie Mitchell in EastEnders, Maxine and Patrick's Wedding in Hollyoaks, and Michelle and Vicky's Revenge in Coronation Street. What was that one? Michelle and Vicky. Don't even remember that. Oh, I think I got it. I don't know. Yeah, that was the story of Michelle Connor. Right, these programmes remained a favourite topic of conversation throughout my formative years. No matter where I went or who I was with, I could always find someone who watched the soaps. Do you know what? Believe it or not, Coronation Street is littered with doubles, duels, like almost, yeah, very strange. Yeah, like some of the actors, you could definitely say that person's playing two roles. Keeps coming up. I noticed it the first time, just by chance. I could just tell it was the same person talking. I could see the face was the same. And I suggested it to someone else, and they're like, "No, not a chance. It's a completely different actor." They couldn't believe for a second that an actor might come onto a program like Coronation Street and play more than one role. That would be just beyond comprehension, especially if the credits told them otherwise. It goes on all the time in acting. Every production company in the world will probably use an actor more than once if they can. Right, for that reason, it was inevitable that one of these soaps would ultimately be the catalyst to my coming out. Especially if every single one of them does big, heavy stories about homosexuality, promoting it to the viewers as an absolutely normal, regular part of life. Monkey see, monkey do. Don't be a monkey though, we're not monkeys. Yeah, I spent roughly 3 years wondering how on earth I was going to pluck up the courage to tell people. Why do you have to tell people that? Isn't that your business? Why do you feel the need to come out and say, look, everyone, I just want to make a point. This is what I choose to do with my genitals. Do you want to know about it? No, not really. Can you keep that information to yourself, please? I have absolutely no interest in hearing about it. I mean, is that honestly the most interesting thing about you, is that you choose to have sex with, or whatever, your version of sex with a person of the same gender? Yeah, is that interesting? Do we have to is that what you're going to identify yourself by? My goodness, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm going to identify myself based on, I don't know. Yeah, it's a mental subject. But I would like to think I was more than what I choose to do with my own body. But okay, whatever. Would I do it via text so I didn't have to face the reaction? Imagine texting that, getting a text from someone. I would tell them I don't want to know. Keep that to yourself, honestly. You really think your love life is that important to me that I need to know your perversions? Goodness me. Right, if I'd gone with that plan, I would definitely still be pretending I was attracted to Zac Efron. No offence, Zac, you're just not my type. What do you think Zac is? Any guesses? Any guesses? Let's have a look. Oh, we've got music coming from somewhere. Okay. Right, Zac Efron. I am probably going to have to take an intermission shortly if we're going to carry on much longer. Yeah, typical. Bet that's photoshopped, okay? Bet that's not really Zac Efron. Very flat forehead, you got to say that. That is ridiculously flat forehead. No sloping brow ridge for this guy. He is a straight up and downer. He's got exactly the same. My goodness, come on. That is the strangest forehead I've ever seen. Do you know whose forehead that reminds me of? My goodness, what a freak show. Very small features. Very small. I mean, where's the? They've put this in the way so you can't see the Adam's apple. Okay. Oh well, what Adam's apple is there? Yeah, something not right about this person. I bet they've got very small eyes, very small nose as well. Yeah, and very flat forehead. Reminds me of. I'll tell you who that person reminds me of. Yeah, just remember that square forehead at the front, okay? That's what you're looking for. Oh, what do we have here? Exactly the same flat forehead and square kind of face. All the same rubbish makeup department. Fake beard as well, of course. Can we go back to Zac Efron? Oh, Prince Harry 6. Yeah, there's a lot of doubles. Prince Harry, Zac. I'm not saying Prince Harry and Zac Efron are doubles. I'm just saying they've got the same foreheads. I wonder if they've ever been seen together. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't know, I say he's a lot younger. He might not be. Okay, he's got a different head of hair in this one. I wonder how tall Zac Efron is. I wonder if he's the sort of height, the average height of a woman by any chance. Let's see. I know nothing about the guy, okay? So, okay, 5'8". That is, if that would be relatively tall for a woman, in all fairness. Not especially tall, but look how small his ears are. I believe 5'8" is actually average height for a man, if I'm not mistaken. I remember hearing that. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the live chat in a minute. We do have another story to look at tonight, but I might do that after the interval. I'm not sure if anyone... So yeah, have we covered this one about Coronation Street then? Luckily for me, Coronation Street was about to air a storyline that would raise sexuality as a talking point in my very own front room. From the moment it was rumoured that Asha and Nina would begin dating, I was so excited. A sapphic romance between two girls my age was exactly what I needed to see. Of course it was. That was the tipping point for this person. Although I wouldn't be too confident that they're not another freak show. Imagine that. Imagine originally deciding you're going to grow up as, you're a boy and you want to change to a girl. You then decide that you are extremely mixed up. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? But you're going to stick to liking women anyway. However, this did not... It's just a good example of how influential these soap operas are. And I vividly remember watching with bated breath as Asha and Nina finished their shift behind the counter. And they walked... My mum walked in front of the telly, washing in hand, and started a conversation with my brother. I bet she went mental. Being ever so dramatic at the end of my tether after 4 weeks cooped up in the same house, let out an almighty cry of I'm trying to watch Corrie. Why? Are you a lesbian? Oh, there we go. When Nina and Asha flirted in the background 3 years of waiting was... Yes, this person exclaimed to their mother's question about are they a lesbian. Without a moment's hesitation, this chance was not likely to come up again, etc., etc. Why do we have to say another gay couple? I've seen my fair share of homophobic comments from viewers over the years, and Nina's and Asha's story was so different. Wonder if anyone mentioned... Oh, I don't know. I remember it was someone in one of my chats that mentioned that story about Nina and this underage girl still in her school uniform. She may have been over 16 or whatever, but I don't know. Right, I'm going to have a look at the live chat. Maria says Biden is not even the same person he was years ago. No, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they switched him around. Maria says Mama Judd shot herself a little while ago. I don't actually know who Mama Judd is, to be honest. I know that we looked at that. They came up a minute ago, didn't they? Let's see. Did they commit suicide then? Oh. Is this the same person? Okay, Naomi Judd, suicide. Age 76. Exact cause of death was not given, although Ashley wrote. Huh. I'm not actually familiar with Mama Judd or Naomi Judd, but yeah, look at them. It's pretty clear what they are in my book. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that person, but yeah, they're one of them. David says that number 3 is the magic number. Okay, I might have missed that one, but yeah, of course. KG says, knew she killed herself, didn't know she shot. Okay. More gun well, who knows? Who knows? Personally, I don't think they want people's guns. That is my opinion. As I've said before, I think if they ever want to disarm you, they don't have to take the guns. They just have to take the ammunition away, and then your guns are absolutely useless anyway. So, yeah. I do imagine also weapons could be programmed to fail, like. I don't know. I mean, they put computers in everything now. I'm sure they've got guns which can be mechanically switched on and off. Do you know what? I'm going to have to get a drink, actually, if we're going to carry on. What we could do is watch... I was suggested watching a few minutes clip from the channel that we talked about earlier. Where are we? Yeah, just check. I did put a link to their channels in. I certainly hope I did. Angel Price. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so if you people don't mind, I might take a quick 5-minute break, fill up my drink, and then we will continue with the rest of the stream. Do we want to watch? Wow, it's a 46-minute video about... I mean, I've done these videos. One of the suggestions I made was Prince Andrew and... what's his name? The guy who... Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. I suggested they could be one and the same. They certainly had very similar features in certain areas, and they line up well. Wow, look at this. I mean, they do a very... Joe Biden and Prince Edward's faces melting. 1 minute 30. Alright, well, we'll watch 5 minutes of this, and I have left a link in the description, so I hope the YouTuber himself won't mind us using a couple of minutes of his footage. I will be back in like 5 minutes. Let me just put a message up on the screen, actually. And yeah, any other things you guys want us to look at before we finish, I will not, I plan to be done by midnight as usual. I don't particularly want to go too much later than that. Where are we? Right, just okay, got it. I will be... Right, I'll say 5-minute break. 5-minute break. back soon. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's tuned in tonight and taking the time to leave a comment in the live chat. It is much appreciated. Okay, where are we? Right, I'll put it on the slightly larger player. It should sit evenly in the screen. I will just line that up and check. You can all see it all right? Yeah, that should be all right. Okay, as we take a 5 minutes then. Yeah, the link to this video is in the live chat. I just want to say hello to Graham, who's in the live chat. Bobby, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the Deborah James in a hospice? Deborah James. I'll have a look at that one, Graham, when we come back from the interval. But thanks for leaving a comment. It's good to see you in there. Phil, right, Joe Biden is a masked-up character, most definitely. Maria says, I read somewhere yesterday a TV reviewer suggested that Kirk and Phil could be brothers. Do you know what? Yeah, I thought about your theory immediately, Bobby. Good, thanks, Maria. I appreciate you saying that because, yeah, they are the same person, I'm confident. But remember, if you remember that video, I chucked in a third character that also matched up identically with Phil, and that was, I can't even think of his name now, but he was a bad guy, completely opposite to Kirk. Does it mean all three are the same person? Or is it that all three people, one person could be made to look like any of them? That's how I think it is, personally. Right, I'm going to have to give my voice a break and get a drink. So, yeah, thanks for... right, Maria says, I was disciplined at work some years ago for quoting that biblical scripture. I can well imagine it, Maria. Yeah, that would not go down well. Out of interest, what was the scripture? Yeah, about not laying with each other. I'm with you, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, Maria. KG says, next wax backup, switch up channel YouTube. Okay, next wax backup, yeah? Right, Maria says, whilst okay. Mama Judge shot herself whilst her family were downstairs. Right, okay. They're country music singers. Thank you for the information, KG. I wasn't aware of that one. Right, okay. I believe I've caught up with the live chat. Graham, that story is getting on my nerves. She is supposed to be end-of-life care, but she's living it up. Oh, is this the one that I compared to Jade Goody? Yes, we have looked at that, actually, but we'll have a closer look, see how she's getting on with her terminals. Please don't let me forget, actually, right before we finish tonight. Maybe that'll be the first thing I look at when I come back, and then I'll finish with my Johnny on the Spot story. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Thanks, everyone, for commenting.
Of Cornwall. Did your screen just explode? By the insight of the revelation that it cannot be any coincidence if several presidents of the country with the first ladies just look exactly like certain royal samples for this. But now I want to focus on the main actor of this video, on the actor Prince Edward of Wessex. My proof that this disgusting individual is playing fake President Joe Biden will not only contain pic comparisons between the latter and Prince Edward, cause additionally I will also cross-match Joe Biden with other fake identities played by Prince Edward. That will contain a special surprise for you And I will also look who is the royal behind the president's son, Hunter Biden. If it's a royal closely related with Prince Edward, it will be a further proof. But first, let's begin with a deeper investigation of the similarities between Prince Edward and Joe Biden. So, I've already displayed this comparison, and I think it's absolutely convincing. Just look at the eyes standing close together, absolutely typical for Prince Edward. Compare the shape of the eyes, compare the shape of the chin and the mouth wrinkles. Also, the mouth and the philtrum are absolutely the same, only the bottom of the nose is a little bit different, and the skin on the Joe Biden fake character is made about 20 years older, but such fakeries are easily done. Well, let's look if we can melt these two pics into one fluid motion of biometrical unity. Here we go. Let's get it started. The face of Joe Biden should now slowly turn into Prince Edward's face. Yes. What a transition. In the transition of these two faces, the eyes, the mouth, and the nose remain always in the same distance to each other. The biometrics of Prince Edward and Joe Biden are melting together here. So it's the same individual, no doubt. Another comparison. Look at the same eyes, the same form of the mouth, especially when it comes to the corners of the mouth. The shape of the nose is the same. In general, the slight psychopathic aura of these two faces is the same. You know what I mean? So, next one. Here you see also when Joe Biden and Prince Edward are laughing, they have the same wrinkles in the face, the same laugh lines, so to say. And even though Joe Biden appears to have better teeth than Edward, well, that's no reason to doubt the match, since such slight differences can easily be faked. But what really stands out here and what proves everything is the very rectangular shape of the eye sockets. I mean, come on. These cutouts are from the same pic comparison. In both pics, the eye sockets run at exactly the same angles and lengths. In the Biden picture, they are just a little bit compressed. This rectangular shape of the eye sockets is so typical for Edward. And holy smoke, compare the noses. They both have the same bottom, the nostrils run upwards in the same slant from the tip of the nose, the nasal bone has exactly the same shape. We also see here the same inclination angle.
Okay, that is enough plagiarizing Somnidelius Solitius's work. I'm going to share a link to that channel and that particular video if you want to watch it. I certainly recommend it. I'm going to finish watching it. Oh, I've got another cat come in. I'm just checking you can still hear me all right. Oh, you're a bit behind. Bear with me. I've just got to let a cat in. I'll be 1 second. Let me check my settings a minute. Yeah, should be unmuted, hopefully. Bear with me, people. Oh, it's our little white friend wanting to come in. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm going to have to tend to him. Right, I'll put this in the live chat a minute. Video we just watched. Actually, no, what was it? Joe Biden. Biden and Prince Phil. Hello to Robbo Max. Good to see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, as I said, I was only going to be taking a short break, but I'm actually going to have to take 2 minutes, 1 second. I'll put you back onto that video just for a minute, and then we'll be starting the second half of this stream properly. So yeah, sorry guys, bear with me 1 second.
The sides of the nasal bone have the same inclination angle on both peaks. What is there left to say to this? The same narrow eyes and also the same shape of the chin and the exact same shape of the mouth. Here, take a close-up at it. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I've analyzed the similarities between the two so much now, I don't want to repeat everything. So to this comparison, I just say same shape of the mouth, especially the wrinkles of the mouth again, and same shape of the nose. So could this be another good opportunity for melting faces? Shall we go for it? Okay, let's do it again. And after seeing this, you will really have to admit, if you thought Joe Biden is an old man suffering from Alzheimer's, you were just wrong.
Okay, and we're back. Let me take the 5-minute break sign down. I'm just going to catch up with the live chat actually very quickly. And yeah, I put a link in the live chat to this particular video that we've been watching. It's pretty good stuff. Jay Taylor, Biden and Andrew both. Yeah, well, I would not rule anything out about these people. But yeah, they're certainly presented in that way. I cannot argue with that. I mean, things we hear about in the media, who believes anything they tell us? So when we hear things about Epstein Island, well, who knows? But yeah, I'm with you. Right, I'm going to close that for a second, and we're going to, we're going to look at Deborah, what was the name? Graham asked me my opinion on, let me see, Deborah James, so we'll have a quick look at that one. Yeah, so if I said the main one I want to look at tonight is, let's see, these are supposed, look at the big smile on that person's face. Are they supposed to be on their way out? Is that the situation? Oh, let me just check you guys can hear me a minute. Yep, seems like you can. Right. Yeah, some people have been mentioning end-of-life care. Maria Ellender has made, actually educated me about a particular form of treatment that's been available. Well, they used to do. Is it Marie Curie that were involved in it? Is that the right people? And they would encourage people looking after, well, anyone they could say was in need of their treatment plan, end-of-life treatment plan. Wow, what a lovely plan to get put on. Yes, please, give me some of that. Yeah, there was it Liverpool Pathways, was it called? and I think we looked it up on Wikipedia, everyone's favourite propaganda tool, and it did mention about criticisms, but, well, yeah, so is this story trying to say about the great job these organisations do? Deborah James took to social media and shared devastating comparison photos as she attended the opera with her husband. Yeah, it's just what you do when you're dying of an incurable thing. I just want to try and zoom in a bit. Bowel Babe, what a horrible name. Oh, that hasn't zoomed in properly, bear with me. Hang on. Let's go on reading mode. I've just got to open the door for a cat, 1 second. Okay. Bowel Babe, I'm not sure. I'm going to try and... Okay. Yeah, what is Bowel Babe about? I mean, your bowels are not something I'd want to be named after. She was dressed to the nines to watch La Boheme at Glyndebourne in Sussex. Oh, hang on. The activist. I wonder in what way they're an activist. I don't actually know much about this person. Dame Deborah. I wonder what that's a reference to then. Of course, pantomime dames. We all know what they are. Looked stunning in a silver dress and matching shawl. But shared a throwback photo of herself in the same place 5 years ago. The 2017, the mother of two looked fresh-faced. So, yeah, what a terrible picture. And this is how she looks now. But, look at that great big smile. Have they possibly been... I mean, even this guy here, his face looks photoshopped on as well. I'm guessing, again, this is Instagram. Do you think if you were in a position where you were dying, maybe things like social media you would stop using? It wouldn't be a priority anymore to share every aspect of your life? Not with these people. Nope, they can't get enough of social media. In fact, I'm going to look for this person over there. Bowel Babe. I mean, the person in the wheelchair in that picture, it kind of looks like a elderly person may look. Whereas the face, again, I mean, what's going on with the nose? Hang on. Take a close look. They've either messed up her makeup or something's not quite right. Have a look at this nose and give us your opinion. Bear with me while we just go into close-up mode. Unfortunately, on the live chat, I can't do it too quick. So in the meantime, I'll have a look at the live chat. Robbo says, it's a pity that eats don't match. EATS don't match. Sorry, I'm not following you on that one. Eats. Maybe it was something to do with the video we were watching. Yeah, anyway, have a look at this person. Right, yeah, what is this kind of almost like a second nose? I mean, you must be able to see that, surely. We've got two noses on top of each other right here. You can just make out the one nostril. Okay, that's the nostrils. And then underneath you've got a second nostril. I mean, what's going on there? They must be joking, aren't they? Yeah, can we all see this? I'm not... Second nose. It's double stitched, basically. That is where the... Yeah, so this probably... Well, just the nose. They've just put two noses on for some weird reason. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to look at Bowel Babe because I want to know what that's a reference to. And we'll have a look on their Instagram. In what way do you think they're an activist? Do you think they go out fighting... I don't know, who knows? FU Cancer. Gotcha. Bowelbabe.org. At the Sun, it says it all. Part of the Sun newspaper, right? Say No More Freak Show. Yeah, this isn't the face of a person dying of whatever they claim she's got. I bet they're just advertising a product. They're promoting this dress. This is exactly the same as using that baby, Azalea, and selling their death over on Instagram. Have they got the same double nose? They seriously have to put that on each picture of her. Two noses. What is going on? What is actually going on with this? Is that just the feature they use for this person? Oh, they've got kind of a weird nose where it looks like one superimposed a second time on top. This is really weird. We'll be looking at that in a minute. Yeah, evening, we've extended our pre-ordering time on my In The Style collection until 8 AM this Monday. Is that really worth, I don't believe that would be a priority. If you're as ill as this, it would not be a priority. Oh, hang on, we finally got the image up. But it's not much of one. I mean, are they just thinking people won't look that close? Yeah, surely we can all see this, yeah? I mean, that is as stitched on as you're ever going to see. Just there. Blatantly stitched on. Yeah, this is as fabricated as it gets. But if they claim that it's cancer research supporting for them, what are they all about? You would have to say with cancer research, if their aim is to diagnose as many people with cancer as they possibly can, then you'd have to give them a round of applause and say, yeah, do you know what, that government, whoever set up cancer research have done a good job, because now doctors are probably actively encouraged to diagnose people with cancer. Right, I forgot what we're looking at. Yeah, I want to know in what way they're an activist. Of course. They obviously aren't big enough activists to go against these freak shows, though, are they? One fake nose next to another, of course. Yeah, look at her ears as well. They've messed them up, as per usual. Do they really stick out that much? We never really see them, but when we do, you can see that they're just downright strange. Yeah, go along to a hospital ward where people are having chemotherapy or whatever she's supposed to be having, and get the camera out, see how many big smiles you get. These people are absolute clowns. I don't know who this is meant to be. Is that meant to be their partner? Okay, I'm done looking at these scumbags. Yeah, the vile pieces of filth in which they, on the one hand, they laughingly present their illness to you. Here I am. I'm getting treatment for my cancer. Big smiles all the way. Never stop smiling, even if you're having a colangiogram, whatever that is, to check my infection. Then bull spit. Don't buy a word of it. Yeah. Graham, that is what I think of this. I think they're vile pieces of crap, and they're no better than Azalea. I mean, just look, Ashley the Beast Kane. Let's have a look. There he is. Of course, Sick Baby Story, no different. Jade Goody, no different. Now, what crap are they doing for supposedly their daughter? Always orange as well. You want to know what they did with, they had a big collection to raise money for saving the life of their daughter that they never did. Want to know what they spent the money on? Yeah, well, here's one of the cars they probably bought with it. These cars aren't free. Yes, exactly the same as this. They have to get their... Yeah, this is the most vile piece of crap going. Equally vile as the other things we looked at. Apparently these clowns all ran 100 miles. Get real. More than 3 times basically a marathon. You want to believe that these horrible people ran 100 miles? They're laughing all the way. Okay. Right, I'll go back to the chat. Maria says Hunter Biden has even got photos of young girls in his hotel room dressed in stockings, and I hadn't... Actually, I did hear something about Hunter Biden, I think, yeah. Robbo says the hoax put up a good video tonight exposing BS in the mainstream media narrative. Yes, I'm familiar with that channel, actually. I am subscribed to him. Of the latest shooting charade. I'm not sure what shooting charade that was. The one we're going to look at tonight is an example of Johnny on the spot. I'm not sure if any of you caught this in the week. It must have been Monday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. And I must have been somewhere like a Weatherspoons and the news was on. Or maybe I was visiting my mum, actually. I saw it somewhere. No, it was in town I saw it, I remember. A crash happened in Berlin. But that's not shooting. Anyway, of course, they had a Johnny on the spot, John Barrowman. And he got to present this story. Probably did it live for all we know. But yeah, I do also want to see what the Corona Hoax Guide channel did, so we'll have a look. And then we're going to look at what happened in Berlin, because we're going to see the information that they presented, and we'll see if it is fake, as you say. Right. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed on this channel. 153 more channels. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see what is latest. Oh, the elementary school. Okay, I haven't seen that one. I mean, he's really pushing it. He obviously wants to... He's not worried about... because I wouldn't use that particular word in anything, let alone my channel name. But anyway, I was going to look at this one tonight, but thanks for the suggestion, Robin Max. We could watch a couple of minutes. I'll tell you what, I'll link to this guy's channel because, yeah, as Robbo says, he does produce some good stuff. I'm just going to call it C Hoax channel. I'm surprised his stuff work hasn't actually gone down yet. Okay, Mudlark, good to see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. If it's in the mainstream, it's fake. Yeah, I don't disagree with that one. Graham says, when my uncle was down, and I'm sure he would have loved to put one last bet on the horse, but once he was in end-of-life care, that was it, he was dying. So, yeah, I can well imagine that is... He could not even move, open his eyes, talk, or let alone tweet and Instagram. That is strange. So, is this person supposed to be on end-of-life treatment? Because I don't actually know much about them. But yeah, that isn't as presented, and there's nothing remotely real about Mrs. Doublenose. Why do they call her Bowel Babe then? Is that where she's meant to be ill or something? I want to know in what way she's an activist, because she's not exactly fighting the system too much when she lets Prince William come and visit her. Don't know who this guy's meant to be. Is that her? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They're lying about that story blatantly. It's just the usual use of Photoshop. I don't know if any of you are familiar with John Barrowman. We'll have a look. Somehow he got roped into doing this, and supposedly from Berlin, possibly done in front of a green screen in reality. He is a presenter. I think he works for the BBC, actually. I'm not really sure. I think he's on some crappy dance programme. Eurovision. Yeah, that would probably sound about right. Let's see, get this out of the way. We're going to have a look. Apparently he happened to be at the scene of a car crash. But he kind of makes it sound very dramatic at the time. Exposing himself. Okay, collaborators share fond memories. All these stories seem to be about him exposing himself. Dancing on ice. Right, he was okay. Alleged misconduct. Anyway, he's back. I'm not sure how old these stories are. But just this week, this came up. Bear with me a second. Right, we're going to get anything out of this? I'm guessing he uploaded this to... Hopefully it'll play. Give us a minute and we'll see. Yeah, my computer's starting to struggle a little bit, actually. I'm going to maybe close down some tabs. Yeah, I don't know how big a deal was made of this, but it was big enough to be filmed, to be put on BBC television, and The Independent also covered it. Oh, come on. Doesn't seem to want to work at the moment. Maybe I'll have to reload the page. Or maybe we just got to be patient. It's not working at the minute. Not sure what his problem is, we'll see. We'll try and find another video that will load if it doesn't work. Oh, it's already gone all the way to the end, great.
So my friend Mikey K told us to sit by a tree
I hope you can hear
in
that
case
all right.
anything else happens, because it's something that's between us and any other vehicles that may come. It's really pretty bad, guys. There's over where we are here, there's a lot of police. There's a dead body in the middle of the road, and then over here there is all of the emergency services that are trying to help victims and people. There's a lot of people walking with limps and injuries. If I'm pointing to you from the road up there, the car came down onto the pavement. We had dinner in that restaurant last night. The car came down onto the pavement, then has come onto the road over there, has hit somebody, then has gone down the road and come back onto the pavement down that way, and come back onto the pavement and gone through a bunch of people, gone through the photograph that I posted of a cafe, and then right into a storefront window. The police presence is unbelievable. They are clearing out the area, but it was cordoned off. I heard the bang and the crash when we were in a store, and then we came out and we just saw the carnage. And there's helicopters coming in now to airlift people. So I'm going to let you see this.
How would he know that? How would this guy know that there were helicopters coming in to airlift people out of the way? Some of the things he says, I mean, they make sure they squeeze it in about another attacker just to make sure you know this wasn't some crazy person that had lost concentration and drove into pedestrians. This was someone deliberately running people down. That's what he wants us to believe at the beginning.
So my friend Mikey K told us to sit by a tree just in case anything else happens, because it's something that's between us and any other vehicles that may come.
Just in case anything else happens, in case more is to come, hide behind the tree. And then he goes on about, if I were on the road, yeah, you are on the road. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of police. There's a dead body in the middle of the road, and then over here there is all of the emergency services that...
If there's a dead body in the road, do you really just stand there, start filming, and no one cares? Yeah, carry on, John Barrow, man. You want to talk? You're going to give this information to the BBC, are you? Okay, you just carry on filming this horror scene. Please don't worry about it. Do it for us. We encourage you to.
Are
Johnny on the spot.
Trying to help victims and people. There's a lot of people walking with limps and injuries.
Well, where are they? Where are they, you bull-spitting prick?
If I'm pointing to you from the road...
Yeah, you're on the road. What are you on about? What road are you talking about?
Up there, the car came down.
The road's right in front of you, so yeah, you are pointing from the road, aren't you? Oh, what, you're in front of a green screen? He's not really swinging his camera around at all. It's actually the background that's moving. Anyway.
Onto the pavement. We had dinner in that restaurant last night.
Think of it like the stars, you know. We see the stars move past us at night, as they do, but they want you to believe that we're moving and not the stars. Well, in this situation, they want us to believe that John Barrowman is moving the phone around and the background is stationary. So, same thing, same rubbish, but no, it isn't. They're doing it the other way around. They are probably... Yeah, anyway, look at that tiny little car. What a joke.
The car came down onto the...
Just get that little bit of advertising in there for Fund Group. Make sure you stand next to that and advertise their product while you make this press report, please, John Barrowman.
Pavement, then has come onto the road over there.
What, the road that's cordoned off by the look of it? You sure about that?
Has hit somebody.
They said the police presence was amazing.
Then has gone down the road and come back on.
Did they make a big deal of this story, or has it all just gone quiet? Because from what he's saying, yeah, this is a pretty horrific attack. John Barrowman has revealed he witnessed the Berlin incident that has left 1 dead. 30 were injured. 30 people were left injured after a car drove into pedestrians in the capital of Germany, Kurfürstendamm. Shopping Boulevard. Doctor Who star Barrowman said that he heard the bang and the crash, telling his followers on Twitter video, "We were in a store and then we came out and saw all the carnage. It's pretty bad, guys," revealing that he was sitting behind a tree just in case anything else happens. He later said he was returning to his hotel as we don't want to be on the street. Well, you didn't seem too worried about it as you just stood there casually filming. You were happy to be on the street in that situation. But I suppose when you're Johnny, you're on the spot. You got to do it. You have to do this crap. He said he didn't exactly praise. It said he also praised police for their unbelievable presence. No, he didn't. He just said there was an unbelievable police presence. Perhaps it was the big show of the year that they all wanted to be part of. Suspect Martin Dams said the driver of the vehicle had been detained. It's been announced that 5 people have been left with life-threatening injuries. Do they mention the driver? Suspect arrest. That's not it. And then apparently he kept updating people. Should we look at John Barrowman on Twitter quickly and just see what else he happened to share? I mean, it looks like they're not releasing too much information about, well, have they announced all the details yet? The Berlin, what we want you to believe, that kind of thing. I mean, obviously, if someone had ran people... Right, yeah, Robbo, thanks for showing a link actually to that video. I think I already did. Right, let's see if they show any of the stuff this guy... Of course, he's got his umbrella just to mock people a little bit. Oh, what a coincidence. He just happens to remember 49 victims of Orlando. What one was Orlando? Was that the Post? Today is the 6th-year anniversary of the massacre. Yeah, Post. 12th of June. What? 1 and 2 is 3. 6. So kind of a 36 in there. 49 people and 53 others. That's 102, surely. Here we go again. 6 years after the harrowing tragedy, the world mourns the loss of and honours the proud members of the LGBTQ+ community who just want to celebrate their identities and live free. What a pathetic thing to identify by. I identify by the fact that I enjoy taking it up my anus, basically. Let's celebrate that fact. Or if you're a woman and, just keep it to yourself. Is it really that? Is that the most interesting thing? Is that all you have to offer? Hey, I like to have slightly abominable sex. I mean, and something that will probably be ultimately quite harmful. I know that we're not allowed to have such opinions, but yeah. Be wary of what type of behaviour you engage in. Of course, the hashtag's pride there. Pride does come before destruction, and a haughty spirit will come before a fall. What a bunch, hey? Let's see. Maria says... Oh, hang on. Yeah, you guys are talking about that Deborah James story. It was headline news that she was now on end-of-life care, which is just normalising it for the masses. Like Graham said, his uncle couldn't move, let alone go on Instagram. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's one if it hadn't been for both of you, because I know Maria's mentioned it in the past about Deborah James, and possibly others have, that I probably wouldn't have looked at it. Graham says, sounds like a Lee Rigby type event. What it sounds like to me is the one that happened, that's obviously referencing what happened in Berlin. It sounds just like the attack in Burke Street, Australia. Let's have a look at that actually, Burke Street. difference there being that they told us everything about the attacker, and it looks like they haven't in this other story, which they probably think it's easier just not to name the attacker. Burke Street attack we'll look for. This was it Sydney? Yeah, 2018. The only difference was we didn't have to put up with filming after the event because someone actually filmed it during the event. Burke Street attack coroner. Right, hang on. Someone released staged images of a guy in a red car driving around in circles. Burke Street in lockdown after deadly rampage. Was that it? Yeah, 2018. Of course it was. And also, yeah, they've done countless ones like this. There was also, was it a New Year or a Christmas performance around Christmas time where a car drove through, it was like a gig or something, a performance, that was in Europe somewhere. Right, I'm just waiting for this to load, just let you know. So yeah, nothing new of course. Right, I'm going to have a look at the live chat while this video is desperately trying to load. Maybe I'll turn the audio off a minute. Oh. Okay.
Good evening. The heart of Melbourne is in lockdown after a bizarre rampage turned deadly on Burke Street. A man armed with a knife killed...
Oh. Sorry. A man armed with a knife... Sorry, we lost a bit there. Just going to say this car in the back, which is on fire, has that got anything to do with it?
And injured two others before he was shot by police in front of panicked crowds. It was the dramatic end to a frenzied attack that started when a car exploded. Police have just revealed this was a terror attack.
In the heart of Melbourne, a car on fire and a man armed with a knife starts stabbing at police. It's 4:30 on a Friday. City workers capture the attack on their mobile phones. The roadside confrontation lasts seconds before an officer
Is this the same
opens
one?
fire. A moment recorded by many, too confronting to show.
This surely is the
Dressed
same
in brown
thing.
robes, the attacker is dragged and pinned to the ground. Tonight, he's clinging to life under police guard in hospital.
No, this is a different story, sorry.
Earlier, a flaming vehicle was filmed rolling across busy Burke Street before coming to a stop. Hundreds scattered in fear, locking themselves in nearby shops after hearing the explosions. Some attempted to help the injured. This man, labelled a hero for trying to stop the attacker with a shopping trolley. Officers were on the
Shopping
scene
trolley,
within
get
minutes.
real.
Nearby police quickly responded.
Yeah, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was one Gorgonzolas or something. I can't think of the name of the guy now. But yeah, they've obviously done it more than one incident on Burke Street then. Just zoom out a little bit and see what we can see. Right, going to have a look in the live chat. Maria's mentioned, yeah, Liverpool Care Pathway basically starved people to death by denying food and water. What a horrible, vile way to treat people. This is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that's I mean, if you're told your family member is dying and they're put into a place, they're in a end of life facility, and it's very difficult to feel because it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, they're dying anyway, so you would expect them to be ill when you go and see them. But if they just deprive them of the basic necessities, then yeah, that's beyond horrible. That is no way of treating people. but by the looks of it, that is what they call treatment. Graham says he could not even move or open his eyes. Maria says euthanasia is rife in our National Harm Service. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, in the last couple of years, back in 2020, there was about over 1 year, I knew 2 people, both with vulnerabilities, you could say, who went into hospital and were dead within less than a day. I think within 24 hours they died, you know. And they only went in because someone along the way tested positive, did a test and were told that they had marks, you know. So they just took these poor people into hospital, and one of them didn't make it, never came back. Anyway, yeah, so the National Harm Service isn't far from the truth. You're absolutely right. Mudlark, apologising for being late. Absolutely no need. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to tune in, whether it's just for 5 minutes or whether it's for the whole stream. It's much appreciated, or whether you watch it as a replay later on. I hope, we haven't had too many playback issues this time. I did try and change some settings, but yes, I'm not sure how that did. Right, let's see. I'm going to catch up with the live stream. Yeah, we are going to be finishing in the next 10 minutes. Do you know, I am tempted, just for anyone who happens to want to keep tuning in, I personally wouldn't be monitoring it. I am tempted maybe just to leave the live stream going and watching some of my archive footage that we were watching in the pre-show and see. Yeah, I mean, I've got hundreds of hours of live stream footage, and I could keep the stream going, as it were, but I don't know. Don't know if I'll do that. Maybe. I do want to have a quick look at this. Was there anything else I said I was going to look at, but didn't? If so, please, just remind me in the live chat. It'd be much appreciated. Look. Oh, Mudlark says, bowel babe, as it was. Deborah James has supposedly got bowel cancer. That's almost as ridiculous. You know, how do you identify? Well, I identify people that choose to have unusual sex. Well, that's the most interesting thing about me. Call me gay, for example. That's how some people would look at life. Other people would say, well, a doctor's told me I've got cancer in my bowel. And do you believe him? Yeah, of course I do. He's a doctor. And you do realise his motivation when he comes to work, not to make you better, but to tell you you're ill. Most doctors, they need to be shifting these crap products. They need to be selling these horrible treatment plans that, that is how they make their money. Not by making you ill. Don't for 1 second think a doctor is there to make you ill. They're not. They're to give you treatment. Anyway, right, that's going off the subject. We'll have a look at this story, this one about John Barrowman. Have I still got it open? Yeah, Johnny on the spot. I'm curious about whether they revealed all the information about this attacker, because the only thing I can see is this short piece about him, and then that seems to be the whole story. They've just sort of, I never tweeted that I was live, so perhaps I'll do that now. Yes, I know I asked you guys if you wouldn't mind liking the show, hitting the thumbs up and maybe sharing it on social media. If you're in a position to do that, that would help the channel. Would be much appreciated. You can follow me over on Twitter, by the way. Right, what were we going to do? We were going to look at this other one, weren't we? Okay, we'll have a quick look at this before we finish tonight.
The coroner has found that systemic failings within Victoria Police helped James Gargasoulis commit his murderous rampage on Burke Street. Families of the 6 victims say they have hope the inquest will not be wasted if the force vows to change. Court reporter Eliza Rugg.
By the time James Gargasoulis turned left into Burke Street, it was too late to prevent a massacre.
A set of systemic deficiencies in the response of Victoria Police,
including poor planning, a lack of leadership and a loss of control.
Each of these factors contributed to the perfect storm
that led to the...
Bear in mind, the only footage they got was of this guy shouting out the window and carefully driving down the street. Look at him, he doesn't... It's just a red car driving right down the street in this
a lack
image.
of leadership and a loss of control.
Each of these
what was
factors
that? Nothing.
Contributed to the perfect storm
that led to the deaths of 6 innocent pedestrians.
It is imperative the Victoria Police...
Of course, PK, the YouTuber PK, did a lot of good videos exposing this very story.
See this inquest as a catalyst for real, meaningful cultural change.
The wife of Matthew C. joined the parents of 3-month-old Zachary Bryant in court after sitting through every day of the gruelling 6-week inquest.
His parents spoke of their perfect little man who had just begun to giggle a few days before he died.
Coroner Jackie Hawkins said police were doomed to fail in attempting to get a psychotic criminal to surrender via text message.
The strategy never...
By criticising the police, it gives the police an opportunity to say, we're understaffed, we need more funding, please give us more public money. If you don't, then you will see people getting run over in the street. That's a consequence of not increasing, your contributions. This is why you need us, we're the police. Look at these definitely genuine attacks happening. Definitely women that aren't really men, definitely not covering this. This is actually a real life event.
A chance of succeeding.
And by refusing to call it a pursuit, no one was in charge for hours as officers chased Gargasoulis from the road and air, paralysed by fear of being disciplined.
Do you remember that game, Grand
action.
Theft Auto? The original Grand Theft Auto was literally this graphics. I mean, I'm not saying this chase, maybe they didn't have the red car driving off with a helicopter following its every move. What was it John Barrowman said at the end of that video? Have we still got it? Not sure what happened to it now. He said, oh no, that was helicopters coming to lift the bodies, wasn't it? I remember he mentioned about helicopters coming in, just like they did with this one. Obviously, helicopters filming
with the benefit of hindsight,
chase.
It's clear there were some shortcomings in our operational response.
There was also found to be a culture of shifting blame for Gargasoulis being released on bail 6 days before the tragedy, despite the repeat offender breaching bail 13 times before.
They did the best that they could with the situation that they had. They did the best that they could with the policy setting that they were provided.
The coroner made a total of 9 recommendations, including more training for police in bail and remand proceedings, and for officers to wear body-worn cameras to record the hearings.
Cameras coming in, of course. Big Brother gets that little bit closer every day. 1984.
Establishing clearer responsibilities for different police units to eliminate role confusion, improvement of police communication in critical incidents, and regular refresher courses on vehicle-borne attacks. But the coroner said she was unable to conclude that if police had responded differently that day, the catastrophic outcome would have been avoided.
There you go. Just explaining, the police were at fault, but even if you had still given them all this money, even if you had all these requirements in place. Very muscular woman, by the way, isn't she? Do you see that? Look how wide those shoulders are. Anyway, even if the police had all the body cameras, these things would probably still take place. Right, we are literally 2 minutes to midnight. Let's see. Robbo says, Smoke and Mirrors made loads of videos about the first Burke Street attack. I've got some of them mirrored. Are they on your channel, or is that a... yes please, Robbo, please do share a link if you've got any to that. Maria's got to go get up early. Invigilating GCSE, so good night. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Maria. Really is much appreciated, as it is for everyone. We are finishing up in a minute anyway, so good night to you, Maria. And I will be saying good night to everyone soon. Maria says, I liked Spivvy. Where does he post articles now? I don't know that channel, actually. Mudlight says, the NHS are totally useless. Yeah. The only time I remember as a kid, I got a splinter under my fingernail. Absolutely horrible. I nearly passed out when I was trying to fix my mum was desperate to get it looked at, and I was like, no, don't care, I'm not having it done. And eventually I nearly passed out because I hit it, and yeah, it was growing pains. My arm was longer than I realised, and I scraped it down the side of this horrible wooden wall, and this big shard of wood went straight under my ring finger on my right hand. Oh, horrible. Anyway, my mum eventually called an ambulance because I wouldn't go and get it seen, and they took me up and they yanked it out, and that is the only time I've ever had to go to a hospital and be treated by the NHS. And I'm grateful that they got it out for me, to be honest, but my goodness, did it hurt. Probably wouldn't have been any different if I'd just let my mum do it, for example. But no, I mean, even when what hurt most was them numbing my finger, where they jabbed this huge needle straight into the bone and to numb it. That really hurt. But, oh, that was a horrible experience, yeah. That's it, fortunately. And I thank God that this is the case. That is the only time I've ever had to go into hospital, or except to have a tooth abscess treated. No, was that a hospital? No, it wasn't a kind of typical hospital, but anyway, yeah. And I soon learned that a tooth abscess, don't let a dentist give you, in my opinion, for me personally, antibiotics nearly killed me. If my body let me keep down those medication, course of antibiotics, I probably would have died. I never felt closer to death than the 2 times I've been put on antibiotics. Anyway, yeah, that's my experience, my health. Let me just check the chat before we finish for the night. Mudlark says 2 people who have the same GP as my mother has said that the GP has Googled their symptoms in front of them. Typical. That's yeah, what great doctors. Right, Robbo Max in a red Commodore car. The car attack was Jimmy Gorgonzola in a red Commodore. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Robbo. Graham said a Christmas market, wasn't it? What happened to Chris Spivey? I don't actually remember Chris Spivey. That's not what I'm... Oh, is that what Robbo was saying he's got? I know he's saying smoke and mirrors. Graham says, all the best, Bobby. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Robbo says, I have a couple Burke Street videos on my channel and posting comments with here. Yeah, by all means, leave a link, Robbo. As I said, yeah, I am going to have to finish in a minute, although I might leave the stream playing. I'll see how it goes. It allows me to check the stats. It probably wouldn't actually, I don't know, we'll see. I certainly want to play out with something tonight though. But I will have to, yeah. But yeah, by all means, leave some, if you've got any links, Robbo, that would be great. Oh, yeah, Graham, by the way, if you want to leave any links yourself, I will issue you the wrench, the ability to share comments. To share videos, links and whatnot. But yeah, I do ask that no one deletes any people's comments. I mean, unless it's like obviously a bot or something where they're trying to share a stupid link or something. But if it's someone with actual things, yeah, I do say don't abuse the position of a moderator in the chat, because yeah, their wrenches can just as easily be removed. But yeah, I trust, I'm absolutely happy if people want to share links, and I do encourage that. So yeah, you're now in a position to. Right, Robbo says here's a link to one of Smoke and Mirror's videos on 153 News. There's a lot more on his channel. Brilliant, thank you for sharing that. Although I've got to say, I think that probably the reason it is on 153 News is because YouTube wouldn't allow it, and for that reason I'm not actually... Well, have a look at the channel. I don't know, we could maybe risk a couple of minutes of one of them. Yeah, but I am actually finishing for the night. I do hope there's nothing that I wasn't going to... Oh, I was going to look at Justin Bieber being The Weeknd, being the same person. Yeah, they are absolute dead ringers. I was also talking to Susan Byrne in a live chat on my other channel. She was asking about the Mandela effect, and I am curious. I know a lot of people don't believe it to be a real thing, that history doesn't change. I've got to say I disagree. I do believe one way or another things do change under our noses, and a lot of times we don't see it, or we do see it but we refuse to accept it was ever any other way. And yeah, as always, I reference the book 1984 quite a lot, because it was the first thing that ever kind of drew my attention to false flags and governments lying to their people. And one of the things that happened in the book 1984 was that they would change history, literally. In one news report, they would be saying about how maybe a particular person was an enemy to the country, and then mid-sentence they would change it, and all of a sudden the enemies would become the heroes, and people just took it, they accepted it. It was showing just how malleable they'd all become, just how programmable, being under constant surveillance. And what was one of the findings in the outcome of the Gorgas Solus rampage? The police could have had cameras to film. That would have helped them. Yeah, okay, I'm going to start winding down now because my throat is starting to fail me. It's gone midnight. I would like to say a big thank you to Graham, Robomax, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, Maria Ellender, KG. Let's see. KG, Jade Taylor, who suggested Biden and Andrew were both, pedos, which I would agree is as they are presented. Who else has left a comment this evening? Phil Wright, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but yeah, Phil agrees that Joe Biden's just a masked up, fake, and I totally agree he is. They talk about deep fakes, yeah, he's about as deeply faked as it is, all of them. And it's not even that well hidden. Phil Wright, Maria Ananda, I think I've mentioned everyone that's commented tonight. David as well, if I haven't already mentioned David. Oh, who was that P as well? Yeah, do you know what? We started the pre-show, we were looking at a video from a year or so ago, and I have noticed actually quite sad looking back on some of those videos, because I see people in the chat then that were quite regularly commenting in the chat, and I then realised, oh, that's the point, I haven't seen or heard anything from that person for years, or for a long time, and I just hope they're still alright. So yeah, if in any of my videos which I replay, you hear your name and you thought I haven't commented for a long time, it would be good to hear from you guys. Yeah, that is me done for the night. Right, what are we playing out with? Right, I'll just read the last couple of comments from Robbo. Says, oh, hang on. Yeah, we got a link to Robbo's channel. Smoke and Mirrors channel got taken down. Is that right? Later for other videos, not this one, I linked on 153. Okay, we'll watch that one. We'll play out watching that one. 5 minutes. That's perfect. Thank you, Robbo. Mudlight says, are you going to publish another book on Kindle? I'll leave a review of the first one. I only read the first chapter so far. No problem, Mudlark. I really appreciate you purchasing it. Yeah, what happened with... I had given myself the month of May to write it. But the last 2 weeks of May, I got so caught up in trying to sort out something for a family member. It basically took me 2 weeks of chasing up this problem that we had to solve, and it delayed everything for me. But yes, I do plan to. I certainly will put another book up on over on Amazon at some point. And while we're on that subject, if anyone wants to check out my first book, Mudlight says she's only just read the first chapter. Well, you can, I believe, read the majority of the first chapter for free, if I'm not mistaken. Where's my link? Yeah, I put a link to the UK Amazon store where you can read my book, Unreasonable Request, which, you know, goes into the information about how I was dismissed unfairly for refusing to go along with Bullspit 19. Bear with, right. Yeah, since then I have been trying, you know, a few ways to try and generate a bit of revenue. One of the things I've done is I've reached out to some fellow YouTubers. We will go back to the screen in a minute. Actually, I'll just do my close down for a second before we play out watching the video by Robbie Max. Sorry, by Smoke and Mirrors. What are we doing? Yeah, so yeah, the link's in the live chat if you want to check out my book. It's only like 77p. Yeah, another thing I've been doing, I'm not sure if how many of you guys are familiar with Russian vids, so, you know, wonderful YouTuber and truther in my book. He's now got a channel over on Rockfin. Yeah, and to celebrate that, I created a design and put it up on Teespring. Just see a minute. Where is it? Yeah, and there is a little promo which I would appreciate you guys taking a look at if you want. Where was it? Let me find it a sec. Okay, I'm just going to mute myself a second while we play this 1 minute promo, and then I'm going to say my good nights. Yeah, if you want to check out the RV Truth, the Truth collection over on Spring, used to be Teespring, basically merchandise, you know, apparel, items, outfits, t-shirts, hats, that kind of stuff. If you want to check it out, it is over on, the link is in the description to this video, and I'm going to put a link to one of the collections, collection 1 in the chat. Yeah, if you're a fan of Russian vids or any of these designs, yeah, you'd be helping myself and him out if you wanted to purchase one. But yeah, that is all secondary to the truth collection. Yes, this is what I'm now doing instead of my old full-time job, unfortunately. Oh, what happened now? Okay. Right, is that it? No, that's not it. Apologies for the delay. Hang on, I'll be doing this in a sec. Check it out. Okay. Where are we going from here? Right, we'll go back to the video in 1 second from Smoke and Mirrors, which we're going to play out on. Yeah, I did say about possibly leaving the stream going all night. I'm not all night, certainly not all night, but just maybe for the last sort of half an hour. Just to give people a chance who maybe want to watch a bit more. This will be your opportunity. I would like to also say a big thank you to Linda Mack for supporting me over on Patreon. If you want to do likewise, there is a QR code on screen now, which you can just scan with your phone. Also, if you'd like to support this channel, if you consider maybe hitting the thumbs up button before closing tonight, and sharing it on social media if you think it's that good, and subscribing if you're not already. But anyway, I really appreciate everyone who's taken the time to tune in, whether you choose to do those things or not. It's no biggie. Everything. Just you guys taking the time to tune in is massive for me. Right, how are we going to get on here? I don't know if I'm going to play any more after these 5 minutes, but I'm certainly not going to come back because my throat's a bit worn out now. So I'm certainly muting now for the last time. Have a great week. I may be back before the end of the week. But as I said, I'm over on Twitter, and that's probably where I'm fairly active at the moment. Twitter, also BitChute, and all the links are in the description. Please take a time to have a look. Okay, thanks everyone, and here is As Shared by Robin Max. Thank you very much for taking the time doing that. Right, let me bring the screen back up. Here is the video, okay? This is Hero Lou the cab driver. It's time laying rubber on Burke Street. Awesome, right. Okay, I'm going to do it large screen.
Backed off or what?
Oh,
no, people were stunned. I mean, like I said to you, there was only about maximum 9, 10 people for 5 wounded.
Oh, hang on.
There's 200 people across the road watching. You know? Some people run away from the sound of thunder, others...
Okay, sorry. Right, that started playing before I got a chance to pause anything. So I'm going to first pause... I'm going to first stop my audio. And I'm going to say a final good night now. Thanks for taking the time, and I'll be back soon. Robert says, great show. Sorry, missed the start. No problem. Feel free to skip back. And if you're around next week, I will certainly be back next Sunday. Hopefully, we haven't had any of the buffering issues we had in previous weeks. Looking at my stats, they seem alright. Okay, night everyone, and enjoy the vid. Oh, still haven't muted myself. I better do that first.
Stunned or backed off or what?
No, people were stunned. I mean, like I said to you, there was only about maximum 10 people for 5 wounded.
Mm.
There's 200 people across the road watching. You know, some people run away from the sound of thunder. Others march to the sound of battle. Henry ran to the sound of battle. You know, depends on the personality of the individual.
Yeah, it's a good analogy because it's a testing thing that happened to all of you, isn't it? Very, very
Some
testing.
basic surf life-saving training got me through the first. Helping this person, my hands were shaking as the fear and thoughts of what had happened, what could happen, raced through my head. Lou grabbed my hand and firmly told me to keep it together, that I was okay and that we needed to keep strong for the victims. In a level and loud voice, Lou barked orders at other pedestrians standing by who had not fled, but who were still too stunned to think or move. He directed assistance to several of the victims laying on the pavement around us, all whilst keeping me calm and speaking lovingly to the person I was holding. "I am Lou," he said. "You are going to be okay. We're looking after you." It kept going through my head that I had lucked out. I was being guided by this emergency services veteran here with me. Surely Lou was ambulance, police, or even SAS. Lou was not.
Lou was a phony. He did not leave this woman on the pavement the whole time of this video. And for that fact, any video. Lou is a fraud. It's that obvious that I can't even put this in a sentence where I'm asking it as a question. It's not even a question. You cannot question it. Lou is a liar, and everything that he has said in this interview is false, garbage, rubbish, dog shit, or as the truthers say, give me a break. Now, in saying that, I'm going to try and be non-biased as I can, but can anyone please explain where he helped 7 victims? Just show me anything. I reckon I watch these aftermath videos, I don't know, maybe 5 hours a day. Slow motion, you know, any speed, every speed, even in fast, even 100 times. Even sometimes I zoom in that far that I see a 1 pixel. Which brings me to this next part of the clip where you are going to see the most outrageous medical attention you will ever see on a supposed broken ankle, snapped leg, I don't know what you call it, rubber gooseneck. You know the ones that you give to your dog, that the dogs run around with and annoys the shit out of you? You watch the way that this guy applies his first aid, okay? What the hell is he doing? It's almost like he's zipping it up because it's too loose. But I'm not going to go to that extreme. But just watch it. Just watch this thing flap around, and the way he treats it. It is honestly, it is something you've just got to watch. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm going to try my best to show you it in the most fascinating way.
How we go? You doing okay? Is everything under control? All right, fair enough. You okay, mate? Yes, mate, I'm good. Yep, good. Doc, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Good. Okay, keep moving. Let's do it. Let's do this. What do we got to do? Roll her over? Yep. Okay. What's her other leg like? Yep. Okay, fine. That entire conversation happened for 20 minutes, you know, and I ran literally the entire length of the RACV frontage 7 or 8 times, checking on every single individual. Along with...
Now, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I think that's the same guy that wraps up her foot in travel brochures. I know she's a pretty big woman, Lou, but she doesn't count as 7 people.
I've got stripy rubber boots splashing down the street. I'm not wearing rubber boots on my feet. I'm not wearing rubber boots. He likes bare feet.
Someone pointed this foot thing out in the comments. I can't find it, but whoever you are, fuck. Robo Max probably mentioned it bloody weeks ago, but he's got me snowed in at the moment. Good old Robbo.